What up, y'all? This is Decode Dating, back with another video, and this is Everybody Settles. So, settling, I hear a lot of women say this all the time, especially on Instagram. Never settle, sis. You can always do better. Never settle for this guy, this, that, and the third, whatever. Some men say it too, but you mainly hear it from the women, right? So, settling is basically resolving or come to an agreement of something, right? Now, I know for a fact it is physically impossible for one woman to date, say, 1,000 guys within a certain time frame of wanting to settle down with somebody of, I guess, their interest, right? So, for any woman to say never settle, that means you'll never come to an agreement or resolve anything because you always feel as if there's grass is greener. Now I'm going to break down a couple of things for people to understand why I say everybody settles. Because you tend to find somebody you're compatible with and they check off most of your boxes, and most of the time you will settle down with that person. Now, for any woman who says, nah, I can't, is just ignorant. So different ways parties will find a reason to settle down with somebody, right? So for the men, the first thing automatically, and I'll say for both parties, this goes hand in hand, is attraction. You have to be physically attracted to that person. And attraction is not a choice. It is ingrained in your DNA. You're attracted to what you're attracted to. That's just how it is. This is part of biology. Don't get mad at me, but this is science. The next thing for a man, for him to be attracted to a woman after the attraction passes, is personality. Now, if you have a good personality, you're respectful, you're funny, you're not shy or timid or anything like that, and you open up and you have good conversations with that man, yes, that's another check on his list to say, hey, I could potentially settle down with this person, right? Physical intimacy. A man desires that. Women don't understand that most of the time when a man is attracted to you physically, he wants to smash. You know what I'm saying? So if the physical intimacy is not up to par, most of the time he will seek another woman, right? And we all know we don't want nobody cheating on us. So you got to make sure that is good in his book, right? And last but not least, I say femininity. So when a woman has all the feminine traits of being a woman, not masculine, not a booger wolf, not out here rough and aggressive and dominant and doing all that, just be feminine and a man will be at peace. A man will be happy. You know what I'm saying? That ties into submission. Submission. A lot of women think, oh, I could be feminine, but I don't have to submit. Wrong. If you're feminine, you have to submit. You know who's the authority figure in that relationship. So submission, there's power in that, and that is key. That's going to help the man want to stay with you long term. That's going to help the man want to settle down with you, right? Now, on the women's side, the opposite side of the coin, like I said before, it works hand in hand. Attraction. A woman has to be attracted to you physically to even want to be able to talk to you or spend time with you, right? A lot of women like, oh, well, I dated ugly guys and stuff like that. Yeah, you're trying something new because the last guy that you were with and you thought he was very attractive didn't work. So you're trying to go out your normal range of what you find attractive. You still come back home to an attractive man. Now, typically speaking, a man who's, tall, have certain facial features you'll be attracted to, a muscular built. Of course, you're going to be attracted to it because that's ingrained in your DNA. That's exactly what you want. That's in your brain. You can't fight that, right? Next, well, I say if attraction is checked off her list, is resources. A woman wants a man who can provide. Like I said, it doesn't always have to be financial, but a financial is a plus. For a woman to come into a relationship with a man and see he's providing, that helps. That makes her check off another thing off her list, and that makes her want to settle down with you, right? Next thing, I would say status. Status is another key factor where a lot of women would want another man. He is well known by a lot of people. He's respected by his peers. Status plays a major role. Some men have a lot of status but don't have more money than the next guy, but he'll still beat out the competition. For example, Jeff Bezos. This is a while ago. There's a clip out there. He had his new wife that he's with now, and he bring her somewhere, and she seen Leonardo DiCaprio. We all know Jeff Bezos is a billionaire, one of the richest men in the world. I think he's second, and Elon Musk is first. She was next to Leonardo DiCaprio, and the way she was staring at that man, he had more status. I guess he was more physically attractive than Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos only known for Amazon. Leonardo DiCaprio is in multiple movies. And I guess he's younger and he looks better than Jeff Bezos in her eyes. So status, that's another check. And last but not least is masculinity. Men have to be masculine, the opposite of feminine, for a woman to be attracted to you. Now, if you're soft and you're scared and you're timid and you're whining all the time about some bullshit that can be fixed, women are not gonna like you. Like, just period, point blank. I always say heterosexual people don't like the same. They like the opposite. The opposite attracts them. So if you're a feminine man, a woman who's attracted to masculinity is not gonna like you. You know what I'm saying? They might say, "Oh, nice, cool and stuff." No, they're not. Long term, hell no. This is gonna cross you off the list. So men have to be masculine and be in their masculine frame for a woman to be attracted and check off another box, and for her to settle down with you. All right. So, like I said before, why everybody settles, right? I don't care who wants to argue about this. We could have a debate. I don't care. I would win, because when people are in the dating market, everybody's dating to find their match, and women say their person, right? Now, it would be hard for you to date one guy every day for a whole year. That's 365 people. You literally don't have no time to do that, right? Or even say a week. That's 52 people in a year. You're not going to have time to do that. And then it's too much personalities and too much time. It's too time consuming. So typically women date a guy and they say, "Hey, he's checking off most of my boxes." But then when they get in a relationship with him, they, for some reason, their hypergamous mind thinks, "Hey, let me branch off and see if this other guy is better." I usually say the guy's lacking something that she wants, but at the end of the day, you can't go out Mother Nature. The moment you start decreasing in value in the dating market as far as getting older, and then say if the man that you want wants kids and you have no eggs left and you're in menopause, it's just, you gotta settle. You get what I'm saying? Eventually. Now, this goes for people who want to be in a relationship. This goes for people who want to get married and have a lifetime partner or mate, right? But at the end of the day, like I said, men and women, we all settle. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you might go around smashing a couple people here and there, but for a long-term monogamous relationship, everybody settles. Everybody. Me personally, it's hard to say I wouldn't settle, because no matter how much women I date, I still want one person at the end of the day. I don't want to be running around here with Sarah and here with Crystal and here with Felicia. I can't. It's too much. It's too time consuming for an average person who says works 40 hours a week, and then you have your other hours of doing whatever and stuff like. Who has time to date so much people to say I'm never gonna settle? And then for women who think that's a flex, it's not, because you're. Let's be real. Most of the time, you going with guys that you're attracted to, right? So say out of 100 guys that you're attracted to, out of the many dudes in your DMs or approaching you, you're just racking up your bodies, because eventually you're gonna want to know if that guy is gonna be physically pleasing to you, like making you come. Let's just say it plain and straight. If that dude is not hitting them walls and tearing you up and kicking dick in your back and blowing your back out, eventually you're gonna be like, "Hey, I can't." And then you're gonna go to the next dude, and then you're gonna go to the next dude, and then you're gonna go to the next dude, and then you're just gonna keep doing that. See, men can do that because they're not shamed for it. But at the end of the day, a man will settle where he finds peace. A woman will settle where she feels safe. That's the two different things about the man and the woman, right? Now, to sum this all up, the main thing I would say is find somebody that you're compatible with. Find somebody that, of course, you're attracted to, and water each other's grass. Don't say, "Hey, the grass is going to be greener on the underside," because when you're in that state of mind, of course, you're going to find a reason to leave. And let's be real, majority of divorces are filed by women. Let's be real. Women all automatically think. Now, don't get me wrong. Are there reasons and certain situations where women are valid for the divorce? Of course. If a man is physically assaulting you, of course you would want to leave. If a man is financially abusive, of course you want to leave. There's certain things like that. Let's be real, that's not majority of the time that happens, right? That's not. But women fail to realize that, hey, the more you try to not settle with somebody, the more of a hard time you're going to have later on in the future. So the best thing to do is find those traits in the person and try to see it through. Other than that, I'll see you